Hi everyone, and welcome to Forever Hairstyles. Today we're going to do a bandana glow-in-the-dark bedazzle headband. And what I have done, I've done two of them so far. And what I've done a small one with bedazzled jewels with glow-in-dark stars. And then I've done another one that's a little bit wider, and I even put wire in it. And the wire is just fabric wire you can get in any craft stores. I'm going to show you a quick way to do it. Pretty easy. You don't have to do a sewing machine with it if you don't have one. It can be hand sewn if it needs to be. But it's easier with a sewing machine, I will say that. So if you don't have one and you can borrow one, that'd be great. And all you need is you know, whatever you want to glow in the dark. I choose stars, and these are what you put on the ceiling and the walls. There are other things that you can use for glow in the dark as well. And then you want glue. I use Sewing No More glue. And then I got a bedazzler machine. So it's just one of those machines where you pop them down and have jewels. So, and again, if you don't have any of those stuff, you can borrow it from somebody, or, you know, this is a great way of having fun with your friends. You know, have a girls' night out or a slumber party for younger girls and whatnot. So, and I'm going to show you how I folded it first, and then go from there. I usually fold it in half, like a regular fold of bandana, what most people do for bandana, obviously. But then what I did was I took it almost 2 inches down and then folded it again. And then, and if you have an iron, that probably would work so much better to get it kind of straight and easier to sew. I don't have an iron right now, so we won't. And then roll it down again. 2 inches all the way down. And you could roll it all the way down and then use an iron if you wanted to. Then when I get to the end and have these ends here, I usually tuck them in. And then, you know, tuck them, you know, flip them over. Actually, I flipped it over. And then I tucked it in like so. And then I sewed all the way around, or I sewed onto the edge with my sewing machine on this edge. And then this edge. Now you can hand sew it too if you want to. Make sure when you do this edge to make sure these ends are connected to the thread, because if you don't, then you're going to have problems. So make sure that works. Then I flip it over, and then this would be my front. This would be the front, and then I'll place whatever I want, however I want it, and then, because once you get this sewed, then you do the rest. Now, if you're going to do wire, and I usually do a bandana wire, I usually put the wire in with the crease, the first fold in the crease, and then I sew it in, so you would have the sewing right there. Now, when you do a wire and you fold it up, you have to be careful where that wire ends up, because you don't want to ruin your sewing machine, or, you know. So if you do a wire, you got to feel it, and you got to make a judgment of where you want to sew it. Now, you don't have to do a wire. It can do without. It just, sometimes people, it gives you more mobility of bending it and doing other things with it. But this is simple. This is easy. It's a lot cheaper without the wire, obviously, because the wire is kind of on the expensive side. So you kind of, you know, if you're going to put the glow in the dark and the bedazzle, you know, you can do without the wire. But anyway, so this is how you fold it and sew it, and this is what it looks like afterwards. And you can see where I sewed, you know, and you want to make sure, like I use white because I thought it was neater looking. You don't have to. You can use blue or whatever thread you have, and you will see how I made sure this corner, you know, the way I folded this one, obviously I didn't have to tuck it in as much as that one, as much as I, you know, tuck in this here. So, and here's the thing too, when you fold it, Like, I didn't do a very good job here this time, but you want to make sure all the edges are folded right, and you might have to, you know, iron it right away to get everything straight and all that stuff. So, but this is how it looks, and you know, and then the bedazzle, I just put it wherever, you know, I put it. Now the bedazzler, that can be a little hard and tricky, so you really want to make sure you got your gems in there secured. I know sometimes it's hard. Sometimes I get jewels cross-eyed and it's hard to do. So, but anyway, and it's great for any, you know, any fun time, anything to do, you know, for school activities, camping, parties, whatever, you know, whatever works. So, and there you have it.